This video is brought to you by Scopic.com. Get yours now.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Phil from Untitled.com, and today we're going to take a look at Huawei MediaPad M2 8.0. So this obviously is an 8-inch tablet and it's packed with multimedia functions. It's a Huawei's tablet. Now there should be a MediaPad M3, but let's take a look. It's got a unibody construction, although if you get an LT model, you will get a part that is cut with the plastic in order to make the signals go through. If you don't like this part, you can get the Wi-Fi model, but it's inevitable to have a plastic part, so I guess we'll have to deal with that. There's a Huawei logo. It's not exactly my favorite. There's a camera, and the whole construction of the device is actually really good. And the multimedia function is one of the best features about the MediaPad M2. It's got a great speaker. It's got a Harman Kardon certified. It's not exactly a Harman Kardon speaker. They certified it. It's a pair of stereo speaker on the bottom and on the top. They make great sound. This is one of the best sounding tablets in the market that you can find. The earphone output is fairly good as well, although camera is something that you won't really like much. The camera on the rear and the front is good for their resolution, but the details or the low lighting condition photos, they're not exactly on the level. So don't expect too much on the camera. The display is another part that you will really like. It's got a vibrant 8-inch display. It's got 1920 by 1200 pixels. It's pretty good. It's got a good resolution, good color saturation and color reproduction, and you can even change the color temperature if you don't like the default setting, although we think the default settings are totally fine. As you can see right now, it's got a Huawei Emui interface. It's stuck in Android Lollipop, and they're not exactly updating as timely as we want it to be, as a security patch still is at January 1st. But overall, the Emui 3.1 is pretty good, although some part of the interfaces are too confusing and there are too many redundant menus, and the launcher lines up icons just like the iPhones or the iPads. Not exactly my favorite way on Android. There still isn't an option to arrange them alphabetically, and the built-in launcher isn't the most responsive one, and it doesn't really show many of the badges. It only supports few of the built-in apps to show badges, so if you want a lot of notification, then you will be likely to have a third-party launcher installed on your tablet. It runs on a Kirin 930 processor. The processor itself isn't bad at all, but it somehow is sluggish, which I attribute mostly to the software's fault. Depending on your purchase, you will get a 2GB of RAM or 3GB of RAM. Whichever storage that you get, you will be able to expand that further through the microSD card slot on the right side of the tablet. And while it will handle most of the everyday tasks without any problems, in some of the cases it's not going to be as responsive as you wanted it to be. So in this case, it takes a bit of a lag. It's not much of an hassle, but it does take some time for some of the actions, and when you want to go back, it's going to be a bit. It's not a big deal, but this certainly is a bit of an annoyance to me. The remaining aspects of the tablets are quite normal. It lasts about 6 hours with the Wi-Fi connection and the 5 hours on the 3G or the LTE connection. It doesn't support any quick charge methods, so you will have to yield 2 hours and 48 minutes to fully charge up this guy. Overall, it's a fairly good tablet, but it's going to depend on how much you pay for this one. If you're able to get an LTE-enabled device for a low prices, then this certainly should be one of yours. But I don't want to suggest paying the full price for this tablet. It does have the impressive speaker and the screen combo, but overall there are few aspects that I think this is a few years behind its competition. And that's pretty much it. Thank you always for watching. This was Huawei MediaPad M2 8.0. And you can meet us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and we'll see you guys later. Ciao.